Hello, my students. How are you? I hope that all of you are okay. Today, inshallah, we are going to continue our lesson, which is the age of automobile. As you remember, in the previous lessons, we talked about the age of automobile, and we said if I want to define the word automobile, it means, or what does the word automobile mean? We can say that automobile is the industry of producing cars. The industry of producing cars. Today, inshallah, we will continue talking about the industry of producing car or the automobile. As you remember that the writer in this discurve essay, the writer talked about two sides of this industry. It talks about two sides of using cars. It talks about the advantages and disadvantages, and he was very clear about what are the disadvantages of using car, or what are the parts that could be damaged because of using cars. مثل ما بتعرفوا بالفيديو الماضي احنا حكينا عن استخدام السيارات وصناعة السيارات بشكل عام، وقلنا يا مس انه السيارات إلها فوائدها ومضارها، ولكن الكاتب ركز على مجموعة كبيرة من الديسادفانتجز of using cars، وحكينا من الناحية الصحية، من الناحية environmental problems اللي هي المشاكل البيئية، ومن ناحية المشاكل اللي ممكن تتسبب فيها للبيئة وللإنسان وإلى آخره. As you remember وصلنا عند last point اللي هو لما إجا الكاتب وحكى لك if there is a serious oil spill under ice in the Arctic، يعني إذا وجد عندك تسرب نفطي حقيقي، يعني أنت مثلا suppose that there was a ship which contains or have inside it or on it lots of oil, and this oil spilled. So what will happen? It's gonna be a big serious problem. It's not gonna be a normal or easy problem. إذا أنت بدي أجي أحكي لك أنا كان في تسرب بالنفط صار في الأركتيك، فتخيل أنت كمية الدامجز أو خلينا نحكي الكاتاستروفي اللي ممكن تحصل بسبب هذا الإشي. So let's see what did he say also. He said it will be very hard if not impossible. See, very hard if not impossible. It means even if it's not gonna be very hard, يعني even if it's not gonna be impossible to control this problem، يعني حتى لو ما كان من المستحيل السيطرة عليها وكان في أمل إنك تسيطر، رح تكون very hard. ولو كان، وإحنا بنعرف إنه من الصعب it's very hard to control such disaster، يعني هو من الصعب إنك أنت تعمل كنترول على هيك كارثة، ولكن at the same time احنا بنعرف انه hard if it's ايش not impossible. if it's not impossible يعني اذا ما كانش من المستحيل انك انت كمان تقوم بعملية السيطرة عليها. طيب to stop it it على ايش بتعود؟ here على الاويل spill، اوكي، أو oil spill problem. It becoming an environmental catastrophe. What is the environmental catastrophe? What can cause an environmental catastrophe? شو اللي ممكن يتسبب لك بالenvironmental catastrophe اللي هي كارثة بيئية؟ What can cause an environmental catastrophe in the Arctic? Oil spill under ice. Oil spill under ice. وممكن I can ask you in another way. What caused an environmental catastrophe in the Arctic, for example? You would answer me if there is a serious oil spill under the ice in the Arctic. This is gonna be an environmental catastrophe. ومثل ما حكينا environmental catastrophe، environmental معناها بيئي، و catastrophe معناها ايش؟ اللي هي طبعا كارثة. environmental catastrophe كارثة بيئية. Wouldn't we لاحظ هون the way, the phrase he used. Wouldn't we be foolish to ignore his warning? Look at this his. The pronoun his refer to who? To professor. To which who's professor? What terms professor? Peter Wadham's professor. This professor he والhis بتعود عليه. So wouldn't we be foolish? We, when he say this pronoun we, it means the reader, people, all population in the world, or all people in this world. يعني هو بيحكي بالوي عن كل الناس الموجودين بهذا العالم. If it's not to ignore his warning. This is noun. His warning اللي هو ايش؟ تحذيره. إذن هل معقول إحنا ما نكون أغبياء؟ لأنه ما رح نكون أغبياء أو ما رح نكون في قمة الغباء إذا إحنا تجاهلنا تحذيره. Just look. Now he's going to provide his question by an example. يعني رح يدعم لك الكويستشن اللي أعطاك إياه بصيغة question for us, and it's like a warning from the writer's side. يعني هو كان عبارة عن سؤال لإلنا من الكاتب، وكان كمان عبارة عن إيش؟ كان عبارة عن زي تحذير للقارئ أو للناس اللي رح يقرأوا this article، ويورجيهم إنه يدعم لهم هذا التحذير ببروف. خلينا نشوف إيش الإكزامبل أو البروف اللي أعطانا إياه. Just look. Now see this phrase. Just look at. يعني فقط أنت فكر وانظر وتطلع على إيش؟ What happened at the Deepwater Horizon in a platform. Deepwater Horizon. Horizon هون بتيجي بمعنى أفق، و Deepwater Horizon بمعنى أفق العمق المائي، اللي هي بتوصل انت للعمق المائي الموجود عندك، يعني الى اعماق المياه. Deep water اللي حكينا هي في اعماق المياه. Horizon افق بالبلاتفورم. In where. خلينا let's continue move to the second part of the article. Okay. In the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico اللي هو ايش؟ خليج المكسيك. In 2010 في 2010. Now I have two questions here. Okay. If I put a line under 2010, I would ask you the following question. What does the underlined date indicate to you? What does the underlined date indicate to you? يعني التاريخ اللي تحتيه خط 2010 شو ببين لك أو شو بوضح لك؟ أو I can ask you another question. What happened in the Gulf of Mexico or in the Deepwater Horizon in a platform in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010? The answer is the following. 5 million barrels of harmful, dirty, black oil were released into the sea, and it took 3 months to get it under control. So this is the environmental catastrophe that the writer was talking about in his lines or in the article's lines. يعني هاي هي الكاتاستروفي اللي كان القارئ يحكي عنها. So شايفين هذه الإجابة أنا أعطيتكم لإلها two questions. الأول كان what does the underlined date 2010 indicate to you؟ والثاني كان what happened in the Gulf of Mexico أو in the Deepwater Horizon and platform in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. 5 million barrels. Barrels here this word معناها اللي هي براميل، اللي هو البرميل. تعرفوا البرميل البلاستيكي اللي بحطوا فيه النفط وإلى آخره. Of harmful معناها مؤذي. Harmful here adjectives. Look at these adjectives. It's a sequence of following adjectives. يعني بيجي عنا إيش؟ إحنا مجموعة من الadjectives لو وصف what البارلز ولا which is inside the barrels. Let's see. Harmful, dirty black oil. Harmful مؤذي, dirty وسخ. Adjective, adjective, as you can see. So we have adjectives here. We have harmful. Harmful معناها إيش؟ مؤذي. Dirty معناها وسخ. و black here حكينا إنه صح. It is what? It is color, but here it's adjective. Oil. Oil اللي هو إيش؟ نفط. إذا عنا 5 million barrels يعني 5 مليون برميل من النفط الأسود المؤذي والوسخ ماله were released into the sea يعني أطلق إلى البحر. Where did this happen? In the Gulf of Mexico. In the Gulf of Mexico اللي هو بخليج المكسيك. بخليج المكسيك. So released into the sea and took 3 months. How many or how much time does it take to get under control? Or how much time does the oil spill in Gulf of Mexico? How much time does the oil spill in Gulf of Mexico take to be under control? أو ممكن نحكي how much time did, بما إنه هون حكى لنا it took, this verb it took. Okay, this is verb 2. So how much time did the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico take on? How much time did the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico take to get under control? To get under control. قديش وقت أخذ حتى يقدروا يسيطروا على الأويل سبيل اللي صار؟ الإجابة شايفين where's the answer? In the middle. It took 3 months. It took 3 months. Okay? إذا أخذ معاهم 3 أشهر. اللي بدي إياكم تفهموه يا تاسع إنه sometimes the answer it doesn't mean that it is before the question or after it. يعني before السنتنس اللي أخذتها للquestion أو اللي كونت منها الquestion أو بعده. Sometimes بتكون in the middle and at the end. Okay? يعني أحيانا بتكون هي in the middle موجودة بالنص ما بين الquestion. يعني أنا لما قلت لك how much time did the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico take to get under control. شايفين وين get under control؟ هيها الإجابة it took 3 months. يعني أخذ منهم قديش؟ 3 أشهر. Sorry for this problem in my computer. I want to just relieve it. Okay. Environmentalists said that the oil spill had happened the year before. إذا the environmentalists هم scientists of environment. environmentalists هم scientists of environment اللي هم علماء البيئة. علماء البيئة said. What did they say, the environmentalists? What did the environmentalists say about the Gulf of Mexico catastrophe أو disaster اللي هي الكارثة أو الديزاستر اللي صارت ب the Gulf of Mexico? They said the oil spill had happened the year before. يعني هو حصل قبل بسنة due هون بمعنى إيش؟ بسبب because. due to بمعنى because of greed and carelessness. So what is the reason? What was the reason behind the oil spill? أو ممكن نسأله بشكل عام. What is the main reason behind oil spills in our oceans and seas? إيش هو السبب الرئيسي لتسرب النفط في بحارنا ومحيطاتنا؟ نيجي بنحكي اللي هو greed and carelessness. greed and carelessness مثل ما انتم شايفين greed يعني ايش؟ اللي هو الطمع او الجشع. carelessness اللامسؤولية. أو ممكن أحكي لك according to the environmentalist. لو سألتك يعني another question according to the environmentalist يعني استنادا إلى وجهة نظر environmentalist أو حسب ما قالوا environmentalist. What was the main reason behind the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico؟ شو كان السبب الرئيسي لتسرب النفط في خليج المكسيك؟ سواء أنا سألته بشكل عام بالpresent as a truth أو سألته فقط لأحكي لك عن Gulf of Mexico، نفس الإجابة اللي هو due to greed and carelessness أو because of greed and carelessness. So due to في إلها synonym due to, because of. We can use instead of it because of بما إنه معناها سبب. طيب let's continue reading. Have we learned nothing؟ يعني هل إحنا تعلمنا ولا إشي؟ Ben Elfie, a polar campaigner. A polar campaigner. I'm sorry. You may miss, like I did now, that the G here is a silent letter. So we have campaigner. And if you see that, it's the R is very delicate. يعني رقيقة أو خفيفة. تمام. A polar campaigner for a polar. شايفين again a polar campaigner. So if I ask you a question, who is Ben Elfie? Ben Elfie is a polar campaigner for Greenpeace. Greenpeace said that a spill in the Arctic would essentially make dealing with something like Deepwater Horizon like almost straightforward. Okay, so who's Ben Elfie? A polar campaigner. Campaigner it means اللي هو مناضل لحماية، يعني هو بيكون مناضل في حماية البيئة. Okay, he is a polar campaigner. So he is a polar campaigner. Campaigner قلنا مناضل، إذن هو مختص بالنضال for the polar, to protect the polar or خلينا نحكي اللي هو الأركتيك والأنتاركتيك. Okay, هو مختص بحمايتهم. He's a protector for them. So a polar campaigner for Greenpeace. Greenpeace يامس اللي هي طبعا المنطقة الخضراء أو خلينا نحكي المنطقة البيئية المحمية أو منطقة خضراء. Okay, said that يعني this is what did he say. If I ask a question, what did the campaigner polar Ben Elfie say about what did the polar campaigner Ben Elfie say about what? The oil spill in Arctic. The oil spill in Arctic. He said that a spill in the Arctic would what? Spill in the Arctic would essentially make dealing يعني تسرب النفط بالأركتيك رح يسبب تعامل with something like Deepwater Horizon. يعني انت لما بتحكي عن Deepwater Horizon, so this spill is not gonna be on the surface only.